Good morning. Happy Friday. Weather is, looks like it's going to rain again. It's been raining on and off ever since early in the week, Tuesday, I guess, or maybe even Monday. I don't know. But yeah, plenty of rain. I have hopes to get my deck done this this weekend. I feel like I say that every weekend, but maybe if I keep saying it, then one of these weekends I'll be right. Weather is supposed to be a little better this weekend than it has been for the past few. So we'll see if that holds up. Yesterday was beautiful, really nice weather down here. So who knows? Maybe we'll stick with that for a little bit. I hope everyone is doing well and had a good week. It's surprising to me that it's Friday already. It seems like this week really zoomed by. Good morning, Dora and Ruth and Susan. I know I sent something out about, I sent an email out about a Zoom call, and I got to get back to everyone about that. We should do that maybe this week and give that a shot, see how it goes. I think that would be fun. I've been doing a lot of Zoom conference calls and things like that, so they're kind of fun. It's nice to be able to see everybody, and it can get a little crazy. You have to be. I haven't really figured out a way to do that where, like, you can. If you have a bunch of people together, sometimes there's a lot of talking that goes on, and it's hard to hear because there isn't really a way to separate. You can't really have more than one conversation going on at once, and so it's definitely not ideal. But there's an etiquette to it that you kind of work out as time goes by. People, in some of my classes, I see people raise their hands when they want to speak, and I mean, it works, I guess, because then you don't have everybody talking over top of one another. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. See how many people come. I'm trying to think what the biggest one I've been in so far. Maybe 12 people. That was a lot, but I think six or so is certainly more manageable. But we'll see. You can have, I think you can have as many people as you want. I don't really know for sure. There's a lot about all this I don't know for sure, and we're just figuring it out as we go. All right. Well, let's get started. We're just going to sit up and breathe for a little bit, doing a little pranayama before we begin. And we're just going to do equal breathing, that, where we're breathing in for about the same, inhale and exhale, maybe a count of 4 or so, whatever works for you. I mean, might be a fast counter, so you might end up with more, or a slower count. You're going to get less. But the main thing is just not to feel like you're really straining hard, like it's really you're holding the breath too long, or you just want it to be a very natural sort of breath, like it feels very natural. So sitting up tall, relax the shoulders. Hands are sort of resting on your knees. You could have the palms up if you want, or you could bring them in your lap with the palms up. So we usually try to do the palms up in these positions because it's sort of a symbolic gesture of receiving. Right? So we have our hands open to receive. We aren't ready to fight or or trying to ward off. We are receiving. So breathe. Let the shoulders relax. Let everything kind of settle down. Notice if you're holding tension any place in particular. A lot of times it's shoulders or the jaw. Sometimes it's the face, right? The face can feel very tight. And you may kind of notice that. Unfortunately, we only ever seem to notice it when we start to relax. We could only notice it while we were doing it. One more breath. And then just hang the head down. Lift the chin, keep lifting, head drops back. Breathe. Head back to center. Take a breath in. And then moving the head over to the right. Back to center. Breath in. Moving to the left. And back up. Breath in. Lean forward. And then move around. One way and the other. Coming up to a seat, arms wide. Deep breath. Exhale, hands together. Inhale wide. Then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the arms. Gaze up. And then bring your arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. One more, lifting up. Right hand by your side, reach across. And then switch. Back up to your seat. Lift the shoulders, roll back. Then forward. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind, sit up tall. Deep breath, and then twisting to the left. Back to center and moving to the right. Back to center. Walk the hands out a little bit. Walk the hands back up, and then hands by your side, a little behind you. And we're going to actually turn the fingers towards the body, right? So instead of pointing away from the body, we're going to have them pointing towards the body. And then back up to your seat. Tabletop. Sitting back on the heels. Child's pose. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Bicycle out the legs a little. And then step the feet up to the hands. We'll be in a fold. Take a few breaths here. This is something I like to do here. I don't know, it's just kind of habit that I have. You may or may not like it, but I take the elbows and kind of press them against the thighs right above the knees, either with hands clasped or I grab opposite elbows, kind of press, and then it kind of pushes back on the knees, straightens the legs a little bit. I don't know, it's just, it's a relaxing thing for me, but you may not like it. You can see. And then we're rising up slowly. Standing tall. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Drop the knee, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, high plank. And then lower down. Inhale, lifting head and chest. Then lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Once more, lift. And lower. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. More breath. And then step, right foot up. Left knee drops down, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. On an inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Drop the knee. Arms overhead. Hands to the mat. Step back. Downward dog. Inhale, moving forward to high plank. Then lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Once more. Lifting up, head and chest. And lower. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. One more deep breath in. On the exhale, step the left foot up. Drop the knee on the right, arms overhead. And then hands to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the arms. Back to mountain. Take a breath. Let's step out. So we're facing the side of the mat. We've got hands at the waist or the hips. Take a couple of deep breaths, relaxing through the shoulders. One more breath. And then we're leaning forward here. The body lower down. Hands might stay at the waist. You could bring them down onto the legs or down onto the mat. Just see what feels right for today. Hands back to the waist, rising up. Deep breath in and out. Facing the front, we've got right leg in front, left leg behind, like a pretty wide space here. So one foot on either side of the mat. Let's take a hold of a wrist here. And then you can stay here or you could walk the fingers up the arms. See where you can get to today. Deep breath in and then fold forward. Press down with that right foot, rising up. Back foot steps up, release the hands. Lift them up overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in and out. And then we'll step back out again. So we are facing the side. This time, let's interlace the fingers behind the back. So just, like you would normally. Trying to draw the palms together as much as possible. So this is fine, right? This is good. If you can bring the palms closer, it just draws the shoulders back more. But it's hard to sustain this, right? So this is also fine, right? But the idea is to remember that we're trying to get those palms closer together. That's right. That movement brings the shoulders back instead of having them kind of hang out here. Deep breath and fold forward. So if you've got everything strong and engaged here, you could lift the hands. But it's not necessary. You could just hold on here and breathe. Rising up, use that leg strength. And then release the hands. Arms up overhead. And then hands back to your side. Facing the front now with the left foot out in front. Right foot is behind. Same thing we did on the other side, except whichever wrist you grab a hold of first, grab the other one. So it will change how you do this. Deep breath in, fold forward. And press down. Rising up, back foot steps to the front. Release the arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Face the side of the mat again. We're going to get ready for Malasana, or yogi squat here, hands together. Deep breath, and then bend the knees. And we're lowering down. Nice and upright with the body as much as possible. And then rising back up. Hands down to the side. Bring the feet together and we can bicycle it out a little bit. Moving into some balance. We can start with tree, standing on the right foot. Kickstand to the side, or bringing that foot higher, rotating that knee. I'm standing on the wrong foot. I don't know why. Why did I start on the right foot? Who knows? Anyway, whichever foot you're on is fine. But we're going to stay nice and upright, steady with the gaze, steady breath. If you feel pretty well, I'm not balanced at all today. But if you do feel steady, arms can go above. Try to keep that shoulder relaxed, even though the arms are up over the head. Just don't want to be lifting, tensing up. Keep everything low. And breathe. And then set the foot down. And then whichever one, the opposite, whichever one you did first, will be on that foot. Steady here. Focus that gaze. Keep the breath moving through the body. Holding your breath really doesn't help. One more breath. And then set the foot back down. Bicycle legs. And let's step out into Warrior 3. So hands together, breath in, stepping out with the left, and then shifting everything over to that left side, we'll start lifting. So if we're lifting a little, we're leaning a little, trying to keep that kind of straight line balance. It's not going to be exact, but roughly. And your body will work towards that because that's what will keep you balanced. And then set the foot down, switching to the right foot now. Step out a little, doesn't have to be a big step, just enough to shift. And then we're lifting. As we lean, hands might stay to center, or you could bring them out if that's what works today. Neither is better than the other, just different ways of doing it. Keep breathing. If you step the foot back down, try it again. Right? You don't have to just try it once. You can keep doing it. Right? Not every day is going to be a get it on the first try sort of day. And that's okay. Just keep going. Set your foot down and then bicycle legs. Coming back, top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we're stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. And then lower down. Head turns to the right. Arms by your side. Take a few breaths. Bring your head back to center. Bring the arms out in front. Getting ready for Sphinx. We'll start with Sphinx. So propping yourself up on your elbows. Forearms resting on the mat. Palms resting on the mat. You got the elbows in close by the body. Feet might be a little wider on the mat. Tops of the feet resting there. And then we are pressing down with the palms, pulling the shoulders back, gazing forward. Lower down. Head turning left. Head back to center. We're going to bring the arms out in front again. This time extend them out. We're going to do bow pose. So I'm going to cue half bow. So one on each side. You can either do that, or if you want to do full bow, just do two of them. So when we're doing the right side, do regular bow, and then come back down, and then just do a second round of it. So we're going to start with the right hand. Left hand stays extended. Right hand comes back. Bend that right knee. We're going to reach back to grab a hold of the foot or the ankle, or you might even be just grabbing a hold of your pant leg. That's fine. Or just reaching back. Maybe you aren't quite reaching today. That's fine. Wherever you are, we are going to press down with that left hand, lifting up the body. Maybe lift up the knee a little bit as we're sort of pressing this foot into the hand. And breathe. And then gently release. Come on back down. And then working on the other side. This time, left hand comes back. Get a hold of that left knee. Make sure that the knee is fairly close to the other leg. You don't want to have it way out to the side. Right? And then, again, we're pressing down, lifting the body, lifting the leg a little, maybe, and breathe. And then lower down. Let's bring the hands in front and just set your head down. Soles are, you might bring toes together, or you could bring toes out. Just trying to find a relaxing place for the legs and breathe. Making your way back up. Tabletop, and then child's pose. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Step your feet up toward the hands. Come on down to a seat. Soles of the feet together. Sit up tall. Take a deep breath. And then leaning forward. Notice where things feel tight today. Right? We try to do this throughout the practice, but there's some poses that you really notice it. Right? So I can tell my hips are super tight today. So I just won't be able to fold very much at all here. I don't know why. Who knows? It just is. Right? I love that about the practice. It really challenges us to accept things how they are. A lot of times we spend a great deal of effort and time and brain power trying to figure things out, trying to understand how things got how they are. And if we could put as much or even half of that effort into simply accepting, I think we'd be better off. There certainly is, a place and a time and place for self-reflection and, trying to analyze things, but really, so that this is where you are, and where do we go from here? What's the next step? So, accept your hips might be tight today. Who knows why? But we're going to tailor our practice accordingly. So we're going to do some things to help loosen them up, but not so far that we are in pain or doing anything that's not good. Inhale, we got the arms high, and then folding forward on the exhale. Come on back up. And then bring your legs wide. Deep breath in, walk the hands out in front, or you could walk them down the legs. Try to keep the toes pointing up and breathe. And then back up. Bring your legs together. Let's hug that right leg in. Breathe. And then lowering it out to the side. We're bringing the right foot up against the left leg. Deep breath in, and then reaching down for the left foot. Fold. Moving back up. switch legs. So we've got that left leg high. So when we're doing this, you want to make sure you don't have the foot, sometimes people bring that foot right up next to the leg. So you're kind of at an angle here. We don't want that. We want to be straight up and down. So definitely want a little bit of space in between the foot and the leg. So if you think about it, when we're doing things like this and standing in mountain and all that, we're trying to have a very neutral position. So your feet should basically be directly under your hips. Your leg is hanging straight down or standing straight. We aren't wide, we aren't too close, we're just at a neutral kind of position. Left knee comes down with that foot next to the thigh. Deep breath in, folding over the right leg. So neutral positions are very safe, right? They are the positions in which our joints and everything are meant to kind of be. We aren't twisting, we aren't straining with things moving out of their joints. We're just hanging out right where they're supposed to be. And then back up, both legs in front. Breath in, fold forward. And then come on back up, bend the knees. We're going to lower down or rock back, resting on your back on the mat. Relax, take a few breaths. Getting ready for bridge. We'll walk the feet back. Heels close to the body. Hands by your side. And then press down, hands and feet. We're lifting up. Lower down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Relax. And then we're going to move into Shavasana. So you could stay here, or you could extend the legs long. Whatever feels right. Keep breathing. Focusing on the breath and the sensations in the body. So staying present, right? That's really what we are looking for. We're not trying to remember something or anticipate something. We are trying to stay present. we may certainly learn things from looking back at our past actions. And we could be prepared for the future by taking some time to plan. But those can't be our default, right? We cannot live in the future or the past. Those are the only places where we can't do anything, right? They're very passive, right? They are reflective, but yet we spend so much time there. Right? I guess it's comfortable. It's a place our mind is pleased to be. Right? There aren't any consequences, right, for hanging out there, and we can convince ourselves that it's we're getting more prepared, right? We're getting better prepared. And to some extent, that may be true, right? There certainly is always room for self-reflection and for planning. But if that's all we're doing, we are missing the point. Right? The only thing that we can do is in the present. And this moment will be gone, moving into the next moment, and again and again and again. So what we do with those moments is what matters. Rather than trying to figure out how you got to where you are, just start making better choices. Start moving towards that goal you're looking for. There's certainly time to try to figure out, the root cause of of things, but more importantly, where are you going now? And we can literally change our path simply by changing our choices. Our life is nothing but a series of choices and things that happen, right? But even things that happen, we have choices around them. How are we going to deal with that? How are we going to move forward? Are we going to give up? Are we going to keep going? Are we going to try harder? Or are we going to change course? If our choices are better, our result can be nothing but better. Even if we don't necessarily think it is, right? That's kind of the trick here, is that we don't have all the information. We can't see the end. So even though, and I'm sure you've experienced this, I've experienced this too, that there's that saying where, it's always darkest before the dawn. So you may start doing something and you realize that it's getting harder and harder, even though you're making the right choices, you're doing all the right things. Things just aren't moving the way you want them to. You've got to keep going. You've got to have the faith and belief that if you keep doing these things in the right way, good results will come in the end. So there is a certain element of faith, but it's not blind faith, right? We know this. It makes sense, right? If you are doing the right thing, if you're doing something that is good, that is beneficial to you, beneficial to other people, the end results are going to be good because you're putting in that positive karma. Even if you're doing good things, but you're not doing them with a kind heart, you're doing them reluctantly or angrily, or for some other reason, right? To make yourself look like a better person, or to impress somebody else, or some other reason that isn't a real good reason, a genuine reason, let's say. You may not experience the results that you're looking for. But when we are working from a place of selflessness, right? It's not about selfish gain. It's about doing the right thing. You know what's right and you're doing it. Even if it's hard, even if it takes a lot more time and effort than the easy thing, um, it pays off. It pays off in the end. And if, as they say, if it isn't a happy ending, that just means the story isn't over yet. When you're ready, moving a bit, fingers and toes, hands and feet. And then coming up to a seat on the mat. Let's bring hands together. Breath in and breath out. Thank you for taking some time today for yoga and for sticking with your practice. I hope that you have a great day and a really nice weekend if I don't see you. Namaste. Thank you. We're going to move right into some meditation. So get comfortable, find a cushion or a seat. Sitting up tall, relaxing through the body. It should feel pretty easy to kind of get relaxed here. So meditation isn't that different from Shavasana. Shavasana is we're really relaxing, right? And meditation is also a relaxed state, but it's a little different, right? We're kind of trying to direct our concentration and our focus in a way that really isn't necessary in Shavasana. Shavasana, we really just want to let everything go. So close your eyes, pardon me, sitting up tall, shoulders are back. Hands, again, we could have palms up or hands in your lap with the palms up. Bringing that focus to that empty space, the blank canvas. That restful place in between the thoughts and the images that move through the mind. So opening your eyes, coming back to everything. All right. Well, that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you have a great Friday.